All right, good evening. I'm going to start the class. It's 9:43, so I have to start with this. Perhaps you're going to join later on, and we're going to work together. All right, but let's start. If not, we're not going to have the time. I know we always use this extra 10 minutes because of the time at which we start. Well, we have to cover very short lessons. These are the last lessons that we have to cover. And as I said, we're going to use the extra time to work on writing exercises and speaking exercises. Today we have planned to write a writing exercise that is like rewriting the essay that you got, but using different words, paraphrasing some ideas, and using the connectors from the template that I shared with you right via Google Classroom. We're going to work on that, of course, when you're here. But to start, then I'm going to begin by covering the lessons that we have left. This is a lesson that we already, covered 2 times, but this is something extra. Okay, adjective clauses. If you remember, an adjective clause is this, right? It's an adjective in the form of a clause. It means like a complete idea that gives a description to something that is not clear, right? For example, Peter was talking about the party. So when you listen to that, when you read that, you say and you ask right to yourself, what party? We don't know what party Peter is talking about. So we can give more information, right? The information is that that party was incredible. Perhaps that's going to make you know what party he's talking about. So the complete idea will be Peter was talking about the party, which was incredible. All right. And you're going to say, okay, now I know what party he's talking about. It can be a preposition. It means that it can be the object of the idea of the description. For example, my friend dreamt about that party. So in this case, Peter was talking about the party which my friend dreamt about. Or if you want to be even more formal, Peter was talking about the party about which my friend dreamt. All right, so again, what is the difference? If you analyze the main difference between the first one and the second one, is that here the party in the adjective clause is related to the subject of the complementary idea. That's why you have which plus verb plus complement. All right, so which, in other words, the party, is the subject of the complementary idea. But here it's the object. How do you know? Because next to party, you have which, and after which you have another subject with the verb and a preposition. So it means that here the party is receiving the action in the second part. Here, it's doing the action. The party was incredible, right? The party which was incredible. It's the subject of the second idea. But here, the party which my friend dreamt about, it is not the subject. It is not connected to the verb. It is an object. And what is the subject in the second one? My friend. My friend dreamt about what? The party, right? So you can use which in both cases. You can use which when it is the subject of your idea, or when it is the object of your idea, all right? But you have to be careful deciding how to organize those words. Then who and whom are the same. It's just that in this case, these are 2 different words, right? So who is the subject of the second idea, whom is the object of the second idea. The main idea is Peter was talking about the person, right? What person? We don't know. Now, if the information you're going to give about the person is an example in which the person is the subject, then you use who, right? For example, that person graduated from school. That person is the subject. So Peter was talking about the person who graduated from school. All right. In this case, who is going to be the subject? All right. Yeah, Leandro, I see that you are there. Good evening. How are you? Is everything
Yeah.
okay?
Yes, everything okay. Sorry, I'm late. I
Good.
just got back from the university.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Yes, you told me that situation. Don't worry. I was starting this explanation. So it's something that we already covered. Okay, this is like a review. So I'm going to cover this quickly, and you let me know if you have questions. If not, the most important thing for today is the writing exercise, and we're going to go directly there. Okay, but let's finish first reviewing this one. I don't know if you remember adjective clauses, Leandro. Remember, we have to use which, who, whom, whose, right? For example, that's the party which was great, or he is the doctor who was in the meeting, right? What do you remember about that, Leandro? You see the examples over there, but what can you tell me about adjective clauses or about the structures that you see here?
Mm, and we use that for how I can say that for um, uh, say I don't know to say a person. I don't know, to nombrar. How do you say?
You can say name to name a person.
Yeah, to name a person or object.
Okay. Now, if it's an adjective, what is the function of an adjective?
Describe the noun.
Yeah, exactly, right? So actually, adjective clauses, they describe, right? They describe a noun that is not clear, right? For example, I'm going to go back just one slide. Here you have which, right? For example, if I say this, Peter was talking about the party. So do we know what party he's talking about?
No.
No, right? So we have two options. We can give extra information in which the party is the subject, the party was incredible, or we can give extra information in which the party is the object, right? My friend dreamt about the party. So let's read the complete idea of both, please, Leon. Let's read this complete idea and this complete idea.
Okay. Uh, Peter was talking about the party, which was incredible. Peter was talking about the party which my friend dreamed about. Peter was talking about the party about which my friend dreamed.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, in this case, dream can have two ways of being written, right? With ed or with t. When it's like this, it's going to be more like dreamt, like dreamt.
Dreamt. Okay.
Okay, good, thank you. Now, let's practice. Imagine this is the main idea, okay? The main idea is that I was looking at the house, okay? I was looking at the house. So, what information can you give me, Leandro, in which the house is the subject of the next part, right? How do you know that is the subject? You say which plus a verb plus complement. Okay, so how can you complement that? I was looking at the house. Complement that with an adjective clause, please.
Mm, Sorry. Can you
Yes,
repeat?
yes, of course. I'm giving you the first idea, right? The main idea, instead of this, it is this. I was looking at the house. Okay, I was looking at a house. So what is the unclear expression here, Leandro? What is not clear here?
Which house?
Exactly. The house, right? So give me, please, an adjective clause that, like this, is the subject of the adjective clause. For example, here it's which was incredible. So the house is the subject of the next idea. So how can you complement this, Leandro? I was looking at the house. Give me an adjective clause that is the subject of that clause. What do you say? It's like this, right? Which, like this example. How could you do it?
Okay. I was looking at the house, which is very big.
That is correct, which is very big. And now give me one example in which the house is the object, like in this example.
Okay. Uh, and only the information, or the
Yes, only
complete
the
idea?
information with the same idea. I was looking at the house. Now you need to give me the adjective clause in which the house is the object of that adjective clause.
Okay. I don't know. My uncle bought this house.
Good. Now let's put them together. How would it be the complete example? With I was looking at the house, which, and you have to connect that with the idea that you gave me.
Okay. I was looking at the house which my uncle bought.
Exactly. Good. I was looking at the house which my uncle bought. Right. So you have two possibilities with adjective clause that is the subject or adjective clause that is the object of your idea. It happens the same with who and whom. Right. It's just that who is when it's the subject and whom is when it's the object of your idea. So let's read please also the complete ideas, Leandro. The main idea is Peter was talking about the person. So let's read the complete idea for who and for whom, please.
Okay. Peter was talking about the person who graduated from the school. Peter was talking about the person whom a dog barked at. Peter was talking about the person at whom a dog barked.
Okay, thank you very much. Now the same. Okay, the same. Now the main idea is going to be this one. Very short, I saw the girl, right? We don't know what girl. So what first adjective clause can you give me, Leandro? That is the subject, like who. Okay, what extra information can you give me with an adjective clause that is the subject of the next idea?
Like a complete idea or more information?
Yes, more information, but with a complete idea, right? Because it's going to be like
Okay.
complete. Uh-huh.
Okay. I saw the girl who I talked yesterday.
Okay, close, but in that one, the girl is the object, right? First, you need to give me an example in which the girl is the subject of the next idea, right? Because if you say I, then you are the subject, right? And the girl receives the action.
Okay. The girl, I don't know. The girl was working in her project.
Okay, good. Now let's give the complete idea, please. This one plus your example.
Okay. I saw the girl who is working in her project.
Yes, and remember, as you said past, you can keep past, right? You can say, I saw the girl who was, right?
Who
But it's correct.
was.
Both are
Okay.
correct. Good, who was working on her project. That's one, right? So that's who, subject. Now, one more, please, Leandro, but this time it has to be the object, and it has to be with whom, right? So the girl is going to be the object of the next idea. So I saw the girl whom, and your example, and the girl has to be the object of that example. So what do you say?
Like he is in love of that girl.
Good. Just a preposition with that girl. Good.
With that girl. Okay.
Yes, he's in love with that girl. Great. Now, how would it be the complete idea? I saw the girl whom.
I saw the girl whom he is in love with her.
With,
Oh,
right? Her is
with.
already the girl. Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. I saw the girl whom he is in love with. Right? We don't say the girl and we don't say her because the girl is at the beginning of the idea. Right? So good. That is perfect. Again, if you have questions, let me know. We're going to go to the next part. Whose? You know how to use this one, right? We use whose when it's the possession of something, right? So let's read the two examples, please, Leandro. Example 1 and 2.
Only the complete idea?
Yes, it's enough with the complete idea.
Okay. Example 1. He was in touch with the person whose office got closed. He repaired the table whose leg was broken.
Thank you very much. Now, again, this is short. So only two examples, please, also, Leandro. What two examples can you give me using whose? You have to use possession, right? For example, the person's office, the table's leg. What do you say? What example can you give
me? She was eating in the restaurant whose is recently open.
But there you need, there wouldn't be whose because you need possession, right? What is the possession of what's there? So let's try to work in two complete ideas first, right? You need to talk about possession. Look, in the first place, you talk about the person. And in the second place, you're talking about possession of that person. In this case, you're talking about the office of that person, right? But in your example, there's not possession. So what do you say? What possession can you mention? You can talk about the restaurant, but what possession of the restaurant can you mention in the second part?
The restaurant of her friend.
Okay, but then that's going to be something else, right? That's not possession of the restaurant, right? That's the possession of a person. So it means that in the first part, you don't have to talk about the restaurant. You have to talk about that person. Okay. All right. So you can say, I was talking to the girl whose restaurant, right, is closed, for example, right? So let's have another idea. What extra idea can you give me? You have to think first on the owner, okay? First on the owner, and then on the possession of that owner.
Okay. He was repairing his guitar, whose got broken.
But you're missing something. his guitar is already possession, right? So let's remember, to use this one, you don't use his or her because that's already something that we know. Remember, what is an adjective clause? An adjective clause, it's a description for something that we don't know or we don't understand what it is, right? For example, let's work with your example, but it's going to be a little bit different. So if we open this, you're going to please give me your example one more time, but we're going to use different words. So give me the beginning of your example, please, Leandro, the first part.
He was repairing his guitar.
Good. Now, what do we have to change here? If we say his guitar, we know what guitar we're talking about, right? It's not any guitar in the world. It's his guitar. So we know.
Okay.
We don't need to use adjective because this is an adjective. So we say the guitar. Okay, the guitar. Now, if you're talking about the guitar is the owner of something. So you have to tell me a possession of the guitar, not a possession of he. All right, a possession of the guitar. So you can tell me a part of the guitar. Okay, whose means de quien o del cual o de la cual. So you need to tell them an object. What object is part of the guitar? So to complement that one, actually, let's do something that is going to be better. The guitar is the thing we are describing. Now, what possession of the guitar do you want to talk about in the second part? What of the guitar? What do you say?
The arm of the guitar.
Okay. Perhaps you can say the guitar's arm. Okay. What happens with the arm of the guitar?
Got broken. It's correct to say that.
Just in this case, just got broken.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is the combination? How do you combine these two ideas
there? He was repairing the guitar whose arm got broken.
Exactly. All right. So after whose, you have to say an object, because if you say whose is, it's incorrect. All right. It has to be whose something is. So whose arm is or got broken. Okay, so with this example, let's work on two extra examples, please, Leandro. Only speaking. What example can you give me following the same idea?
With the three parts or only the last one?
In the first one, let's try to work with the three parts, please. In the second one, just the last one. But in the first one, the three, please. So what is the first idea?
She was painting. No. Yeah. She was painting. The I forgot how to say pared.
The wall?
Wall. Yes, the wall.
Good. So now we need to say something of the wall, right? That can be a little bit hard. What possession of the wall are you going to mention?
The walls paint is or the walls paint is how do you say desgastado?
It depends. In this case, it can be like damaged or used. But damaged is going to be good. Okay, yes, paint or painting, but yes, it's valid. And what is the combination of the two?
And she was repairing, sorry, she was painting the wall whose the paint uh, are damaged.
But paint as one idea, it's going to be only is, right? And directly, not the paint, just paint, right? So whose paint or whose painting is damaged.
Is damaged. Okay.
Okay, good. That's one. Good. One more, please, but only the last part.
Okay. Um, my friend um, um, I, my friend was in the museum. Yes.
Museum? Museum.
Museum whose have a very special paint.
But after whose, you cannot say a verb. It's going to be incorrect. After whose, you have to mention an object, something that is possession of the previous noun. So
Okay.
what part of the museum you want to describe in the second part? You have to tell me a possession of the museum.
Okay. Whose paint is very important?
Okay, yes, whose paint, right? Or in this case, more than paint is going to be a work of art, right? So you
Work
can
of
say
art.
whose painting or whose works of art or works in general are very important. You can say something like that. Okay, so one more time,
Okay.
please.
My friend was in the museum.
More like this, like museum.
Museum. Okay.
Okay,
My friend was in the museum whose works of art are very important.
okay, good, exactly. Okay, so
Okay.
we're going to finish with this because we need to work on the writing exercise. But again, my only recommendation is that anytime you want to use whose, it has to be next to a possession of the thing that you're describing. Okay, that's the only thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any questions before going to our writing exercise, Leandro. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay, now the next part is going to be important to practice writing, and you're going to do something interesting. Okay, let's read what you're going to do over here, please. Here. And this is this part, so let me please make it bigger. Okay, so let's read this task, please, Leandro, over there.
Okay.
This one.
Right. Okay. Share your screen and the writing process will be observed. All windows. Open Microsoft Word, restate and rewrite the essay by using the structure and connectors from the template. Let's use different words. The new document must not be a copy of the first one. Questions will be asked about the decision of using some punctuation marks and certain words, and general feedback will be provided at the end of the activity.
Thank you very much. And the time is 15 minutes. All right, so I'm going to explain some things, but in the meantime, please, Leandro, get ready because you're going to share your screen. All right, in
All
a
right.
moment, in 1 minute or 2 minutes, you are going to share your screen to analyze and observe the process of writing. All right. First, my
Mhm.
recommendation, go to Google Classroom and download this template, please. All right, because this is the template that you're going to use. You have an introduction, fact one, fact two, accordingly, and here you have your decision, right? Then you have the first body, or well, you have at least two body paragraphs. In the first body paragraph, you're going to use first, as a matter of fact, according to, I don't know, right? According to this article, according to professional musicians, comma, on the top of that, comma, you give more information, exemplifying, comma, you give an example, then an idea, and four to give reason. Then in the second part, the second paragraph, you say, furthermore, your idea, in fact, you show a fact or something that it's true. What's more, you add information to illustrate, you have to give an example, plus you give more information, and indeed, you restate your idea, you show why it is correct. And at the end, you have a conclusion, right? To conclude, give the beginning of your conclusion, plus give extra information for the conclusion. And to round off, you finish your conclusion and you finish the essay in general. All right, so that's
All
the
right.
short template. Let's download it and let me know when you're ready, please, to use the template and to start sharing your screen, please. You have to restate your essay about, right, which one is better, right, to use a pick or to use the fingers to play the guitar. But following this one, remember, we cannot use the same words. You're going to be writing and you're going to try to use synonyms or just your own words, okay? It doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple, but it has to be something that you restate in that process. Okay, so
Okay.
let me know please when you're ready and we start sharing.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to actually give me 1 second. Yes, let me stop. Now, good. Let's share your screen, please, Leandro.
Okay. Um,
All right, good. Now, we are not going to finish perhaps everything. If you finish everything in the 15 minutes, great, okay, very good. But if not, we're just going to check everything that you have until the 15 minutes. At least, okay, minimum, it has to be two complete paragraphs or at half of the essay. But again, if you finish everything that I believe it's possible, it's going
mhm.
to be better. But that's it. I don't know if you have any questions or comments before giving you the 15 minutes, Leandro. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions, I
Good.
think.
So let's do it, please. In the meantime, if you have questions as you're working, you can ask me and I'm going to answer back. All right?
Okay.
Good. Let's do it, please. 15 minutes. We check in that time.
Okay. Mm.
In that part, just for some details, instead of
Mhm.
accordingly, you can use other words, for example, therefore, or as a result, all right, or consequently, or as a consequence, all right. Why?
Mhm.
Because in the first part, instead of saying directly that is better, it's a good idea to first say two facts, right? One good thing about playing with a pick, and one good thing about playing with the fingers. And at the end, all right, you're going to say as a result, I believe that it's better to play with this because I don't know, right? You give me a good reason. Okay, so first a good fact about one, then a good reason about the other one, and then instead of accordingly, or you can keep accordingly, you're going to give me the last result that is going to say which one is better.
Okay. What is the meaning of accordingly?
Yes, accordingly, again, is the same as, in this case, is the same as a result or as a consequence. Okay, it's something that you
Okay.
say at the end of many ideas that you gave to give like a short conclusion also. Okay, anytime you say accordingly, just
Mhm.
as the beginning of something, is to give the conclusion or the results of the things that you said before.
Okay.
All right, good. So let's keep
Mhm.
working, please. We check in 5 more minutes, please.
Sorry?
In 5 minutes. We check in 5 more minutes.
Okay.
All right, so let's finish with those details. It's the 5th minute. Let's upload that document, all right, the way it is, to the well, to the same place, all right, to the same place you uploaded the essay yesterday. And right now I'm going to give this a quick look. Tomorrow we're going to see more details perhaps, but today I want to give a general review. So let's upload, please, Leandro.
Sorry.
You have to upload this document to the same place you uploaded your essay yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Very good.
With
Just in
the
case.
same name?
Yes, you can save it with a different name. You can name it like rewrite, yeah, como reescrito, rewrite, or essay 2. It's up to you.
Okay. Rewrite. Okay.
Good. So let me check. We're going to see if it's here.
Where is the...
It should be there. You should go to classroom, classwork. Then in the first part, right, it says writing task.
Okay, classroom. Writing task. I can't upload.
Okay, you should have the option to cancel, right? Because you uploaded one. So cancel that and you're going to have the option to add more files.
Okay. Okay. Here it is. Rewrite. And okay, it's upload.
Good. So again, a general review, and then tomorrow we give a more detailed review. So let's open. In general, good, because in 15 minutes you got to finish everything. That is very good. Now, again, the main recommendation at the beginning, remember, instead of saying directly playing the guitar with a pick is better than playing the guitar with fingers, the introduction needs first something interesting about playing the guitar with a pick, and then something interesting about playing the guitar with fingers. Okay, so you can say, right, playing, and it's a good idea to start with the option that you don't want. For example, you can say playing the guitar with fingers, right, gives you a lot of flexibility. And you were talking about the layered sound, right? And it gives more possibilities in terms of experimenting with sound, right? However, playing with the guitar or you playing with the pick, right, gives, right, you were talking about solos and so on, right, gives the solo better quality, right, and it's easier to understand the melody that you're playing, for example, right? And then you say, accordingly, playing the guitar with a pick is a better option than playing the guitar with the fingers. All right, so your introduction is good, but it's better if you first show positive things of the two, and then in the conclusion, accordingly, you say which one is better. All right, so that's my first recommendation. Here, remember, this is going to be with lowercase letter. So actually, instead of that, we're going to add some comments. Okay, so here, remember, lowercase, right? This means minuscule, right? So lowercase. This, remember, it's plural, right? So it's only a pros and cons. All right, so there are pros and cons to both techniques, okay, without the app. Then here, this also, all right, it's just lowercase, and this is good. Using a pig offers many advantages. As a matter of fact, here, when you have as a matter of fact, you have to give an example or to show a fact that describes something related to playing with a pig. Okay, so
Okay.
here,
Mhm.
an example based on evidence. That's what we expect as a matter of fact. Then according to many guitar teachers, good using a pick right over here. I believe it's pick, right? Using a
Yeah.
pick provides a consistent tone. On the top of that, picks are fabricated in hard material, which, right, this is missing an H, right, which allows the player to produce a precise and sharper tone, right, in
Tone,
this case.
yes.
Right? Right. It's because of the time. 15, it's not a long time. 15 minutes is very short. So these details are because of that. Okay. Because, for example, here you have like 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, you can finish everything more calmly and you can revise, right? That 2 times.
Mhm.
And that's more than enough. Okay, that's why these mistakes are not important because of the time that you have. So to produce a precise and sharper tone, exemplifying the best guitar players in the world play, right? Because the best guitar players, plural, and plays is only for he, she, it,
Okay.
right? So it is bass verb, right? Bass, it means bass verb, all right? Because it's plural. With a peak. Here, remember, because when it's in the middle, because you don't use commas. All right, no commas when it's in the middle. When because, all right, is in the middle of the sentence. Okay, good. Then because here, anytime you use because, you need a subject, right? So what is the subject when you don't have a subject? It, right? It's the impersonal subject,
Okay.
right? Good. So because it is important to play for them to play. Okay, so anytime you use the conjugation for object and then verb, it has to be with the infinitive. Okay, so for them to play fast. Sorry, not the play, to play. And complex melodies and passages. Okay, remember when you have a subject, you don't use the base verb, right? What do you use? The gerund. What is the gerund of use in this case, Leandro? What do you say?
Using.
Use, right? Exactly. Right. So anytime it's a subject,
Mm.
gerunds or subject. Okay, I'm doing this now because tomorrow we're going to use the time. But let me see, I'm going to do it faster. Using a pick for playing the guitar enables the player to play harder and louder without losing the tone. For recordings and actually here, okay, when you use for after a comma, it means because, okay?
Okay.
For means because in this case. So here you have to give a reason, all right? For means because after a comma. Okay, so you can say because of this reason, but instead of because, you say for. Furthermore, you give this one, it's just going to be live performance instead of that
The plural of perform is performance.
one. Performance is going to be like an abstract idea, but the plural of this one is performances.
Okay. Okay.
So it's live performance, and that's enough. If you keep it singular, it's enough. But you can
Okay.
say performances, but it's better if you keep it singular. Okay, performance. Then, furthermore, playing the guitar with fingers has some advantages. Good, in fact, the same here, right? It's the subject,
Yeah.
so
Use
the
it.
Gerard.
Mhm.
Exactly. Right? So using the fingers able to the guitarist, right? Using the guitars here. What do you mean when you say able to the guitarist?
Like le permite.
Okay, so it's going to be enable the guitarists. Okay, so instead of able to, enable. And then
Okay.
directly all right, enable the guitarist to do this or that. Okay, to enable is to activate something or to permit or to allow. Uh,
Okay.
the guitarist to produce is going to be in this case. If you use enable, here is going to be to produce. All
Okay.
right, to produce a softer and more delicate sound. Good. What's more, what's more useful to play ballads or songs that are more delicate? So good, but this is like a clarification. Okay, and this clarification can be only with a comma or with a dash, right? Un guion, one of
Okay.
those two. What's more useful to play ballads, or when you play, you can say over there instead of to. Okay, what's more useful to play ballads? So it's okay. When you have this correction, that's going to be correct. All right, but the other option is when you or when playing ballads or songs that are more, and instead of this one, okay, that delicate over there. All right, there are soft or more delicate. No, it's good. It's going to be corrected with the rest of the idea. To illustrate, the ballads of Josh Mayer are played with the fingers to get the correct tone. Plus, um, in as one instead of in the disadvantages, you can say just as one disadvantage. Okay, como una desventaja, and then with commas. Okay, plus as one disadvantage, you can get listened. Okay, here is better if you say, and that's not bad, but you can say wounded or hurt. One of those is going to be
Hurt.
good.
I don't remember that word in the
Don't
moment.
worry. Yes, in this case, it's better.
Yes.
The fingers or your fingers in general, right? If you play so much or just you can
A
say a
lot.
lot, but both are okay. Then, in conclusion, right? Good.
Mhm.
Conclude playing the guitar with the fingers is right because it's playing with the guitar. It's one action, the action of playing the guitars.
Mhm.
Fingers is not the subject. Okay, the action is playing the guitar. With the fingers is a complement. So that's why here you say is. Okay,
Okay.
playing the guitar is, playing the guitar with the fingers is, playing the guitar with a pick is, right? So the main idea is playing with the guitar. In my opinion, good, better than playing with the fingers. Plus, while playing with the guitar with the fingers is an important technique. Okay, using a pick has many advantages that um, instead of that it make a superior, you can say that makes it superior. All right, it's going to be
Okay.
like the opposite. That makes it superior or better, right? One of those. Then comma with, well, this is just a space. To round off, here we need a comma. All right, to round off, comma, I'd like to say,
I don't write this is in the template.
okay, then it's not the complete idea, right? Okay,
Uh,
then it's good. Yes, because this is what you. Uh, oh yes, if it's in the template, let me see. But I believe that in the template is with something extra. Let me just check very rapidly. What is the structure in the template? Okay, to round off, I like to say yes. So it's a mistake on the template, Leandro. Okay, it's a mistake
okay.
here. It's not your mistake. In this part, we need a comma. Okay, so it was
Okay.
my mistake because I didn't check that on the template. So I'm here. Sorry. All right, so we're about to finish. This was my mistake. I like to say that this is just if you want to be very formal. Okay, it's not obligatory, but it's if you want to be formal. I like to say that it is only my opinion. If you want, and if is in the middle, also you don't need comma. All right, it's the same idea.
Okay.
If is in the middle, a sentence, you don't. Okay, sorry, need a comma. All right, that's it. Okay, but with that, I'm done. Leandro, again, sorry for using all this extra time, but I'd rather use that one to finish with this. So if you want to become a proficient guitarist, you need, oh, and actually, if this is the beginning of another idea, we cannot use a comma over there, then you have to use semicolon or period. Okay, because if it's at the beginning, but this is another idea, right? If you want to become a proficient guitarist, comma here, then you need, and comma, you need to practice both. All right, so that's it. In general, again, I got to cover all those details. I want to know if you have questions about those details, Leandro. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions. I need to practice.
Good. No, it's okay. Again, it was great because in 15 minutes you got to finish everything, which is very, very good. And these details are fixed when you have a second revision, right? So if you have the time, the extra time to revise this, I'm sure that it's going to be even better. All right. But again, yes, we need to practice, and that's going to be better. That's it then for now, Leandro. Again, thanks for letting me use in this extra time.
No
I'm
problem.
sending the poll. All right. So good. Thanks again. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow for the last class. Don't forget, please, tomorrow we have the oral presentation with the structure that is posted on the classroom. But that's it. All right. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.